Alright, hey guys. Wanted to do a quick video on just tips for mouse breeding and stuff like that. So, as you can see, my mice are doing great, which we covered yesterday. Rack. Okay, so, you want to build a mouse rack. My first step, I say to you, go to Amazon, go somewhere. You don't have to go to Amazon, you can go somewhere and buy the tubs. But find yourself good cat tub, okay? Buy the cat tubs, obviously. However many you want to build for your rack. Now, what you're going to do, measure front to back and side to side. That is the dimensions you want your frames to be. Your frames being the things that go on top of the rack, okay? So what I did is I measured side to side, and then you figure out, I built my frames, as you can see, like that. 3 barns, 2 across, okay? So I went up to Home Depot and I found these are 2x2s. Now, they're labeled 2x2s. They're actually 1.5 by 1.5 inches. So keep that in mind when you cut these pieces here. That if you're going to have these two on the other sides, that's an extra 3 inches, okay? So if you have a saw, you can do it all at home. You can get longer 2x2s. I bought these 2x2s. They're like $1.22 a piece or something like that. They were 2 feet long. I had Home Depot cut them all. I figured out that I needed, 10 of the ones that are this length, 15 of the ones that are that length. I cut them. I brought them home. Do yourself a favor. Spend the extra $10 on a 90-degree angle clamp. Save your day. Saves a pain in the butt. Alright? You don't have to space them as far apart as mine. I mean, I could probably, if I moved them up a good 4 inches or so, 3 inches even, I could probably fit another 1 or 2 tiers. I'm going to do that with my next rack. You can also go taller. I could go 2 more levels up easily. So, figure out what you want for the height of your rack. And so what I did is I assembled the boxes, or the tops, these tops. I did the 4 outer pieces, put the middle piece on the inside. I measured it. I made them exactly the same. Then you take one side and you staple with a staple gun 1/4 inch mesh to it. The mice can eat right through that. Not chew through, but eat through it. They can get to their food. They can chew the food through the mesh. That's what I'm saying. Don't use 1/2 inch for mice, because these little guys will be able to get out of a 1/2 inch mesh. No problem. So, and then what I did is I laid down the first one. I put the tub on, screwed these in. And a little trick for these side rudders. Now, I got 1x2s. You could probably get, I think these are 2 by 3/4. You could easily cut these in half, make them 1, so they don't need to be that thick. But a trick, alright, lay this down so it's the top part, screw these on, the backs, the sides, and the back, and then to space it, I put a AA battery in there. The spacer, I put a AA battery behind this one to space it, and a AA battery behind this one, and it worked perfect as a rudder for this tub. There's nobody in here, so I'm not shaking anybody up. That was perfect. So it's not going to be the same with all tubs, but it worked for me. And then it's just rinse and repeat. Do the same thing. Put your new level on. Try to use a level. Make it, level. But in all honesty, if you have a saw, a drill / screwdriver, a staple gun, I think altogether, the tubs were $5 each, so $25, $30 shipped on Amazon. The screen was like 25 bucks, 20 or 25 bucks for the roll. The wood was maybe 30 bucks. So you're looking at about 70 bucks for a rack. Alright, so that's the build a rack. Tricks to keep the smell down. I've heard the trick of vanilla extract in the water. I did it when I had the mice inside. It worked. And pine. Pine. There are many websites that will claim that pine is bad for rodents. They are full of crap. I have had my rodents on pine for years. I've never had a problem. I will not keep my snakes on pine, but rodents, no problem. Make sure you get kiln dried pine. It's cheap. It's much less dusty. Not any pine, as nowhere near as much pine pitch and all that crap. Okay? So that's my tips for that. Now, another uncommon thing that most people don't know, you can keep your male in with the females at all times. The trick to that is just biology. Alright? One male, 3 or 4 females per tub. Alright, in this case, the white ones are female. Yeah, this one's scrawny. This one's going to have to go soon. And the colored male is back there. Males genetically want to pass on their genes. That's what they want to do. They want to mate. They want to breed. They want to have babies. They do that. And then they leave their babies alone. They're not going to kill their own babies. Now, if I was to take this male and drop him in the tub below, there's probably about a 70% chance that he would wipe out all these babies. And as soon as all these pregnant females drop babies, he'd kill those too. Because he doesn't want competition to his genes. He wants his genes to be the supreme genes. The genes that are spreading. But as far as their own babies are concerned, they'll leave them alone. So, if you want to have multiple colonies running, put a male with all your females. The other option, depending on what you need and what you want to harvest, is 4 or 5 females per tub, and then a male up top. And you take this male and you put him in this tub for a week. He's going to get his business done in a week. Then you move him down to this tub for a week. He's going to get his business done. You move him down to that tub for a week. He's going to get his business done. Then you put him back up top. Okay? Give him a rest. That way you'll have pinkies. So let's say you're trying to harvest pinkies. You'll have pinkies. Then a week later, pinkies. Then a week later, pinkies. Once they drop pinkies, you put the male back in there. They're his babies. He's going to leave them alone. Rodents can become pregnant immediately after dropping babies. They don't need really a recoup period. You can give them a recoup period. It's nice, but they don't really need it. They're genetically built to just pump out as many babies as they can, as fast as they can. Because rodents are prey animals. I think it's something, I forget the exact math, but a female mouse can produce something like 40,000 babies, exponentially, of course. Meaning that her babies grow up, breed with themselves, they grow up, they breed with themselves, they grow up, they keep breeding. Lots of inbreeding. But something like 40,000 babies in 6 months. If all the animals survive, of course. There's other factors. But that is what prey animals do. They breed, they breed, they breed. They have quick, short lifespans because they breed fast and furiously. That's just what they do. So, I think that was all the tips that I had for mouse breeding, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so those are your options. You can keep a male with them at all times. I'm going to give you a tip to... Oh, no, that's what... Genetic diversity. I wanted to talk about that. Okay, so, like I said, this female, I'm probably going to end up putting her down. She's been a great breeder, but she's getting... You can see, she's skinny, she's not pregnant, she's at her end of her lifespan, probably. I can keep feeding her, but she's not going to produce babies for me, so there's no point to that. So what I'll do is I'll put her down, I'll feed her to a snake. There you go. You know, you can keep them as pets, but in my case, these are livestock. Look at that male. He is such a fatty. You are such a fatty. He's a good male, though. He has lots of babies and good big babies. I mean, look at that. That's a big baby. So what I want to do is I want to replace this female. Now, by all means, you can go up to Petco. I can go up to Petco. Just get another white mouse. No problem. What I'm most likely going to do is wait for one of these little white babies down here to grow up, because these are unrelated mice. Alright? I'll wait for some of these fuzzies to grow up, and I'll take a female, and then I'll put it up in this colony. Bam! Genetic diversity. Because actually, there's a good chance that these white mice, all coming from Petco, all coming from the same lab, are probably related. So, I mean, you can... Inbreeding doesn't affect mice nearly as bad as it affects humans, you know, primates, dogs, cats, things like that, because they're genetically more simple creatures. But mixing up the genetics will keep your lines stronger. You'll have more babies, better babies, faster growing babies, you know, little bionic babies. That's a lie. I just thought that was funny. But the other thing too, good quality food. This is rodent chow. I don't know who makes it. There's a lot of different options out there. I didn't even know this existed. This is a smaller pellet. This is the stuff you usually get. It's a big pellet. In comparison to the stuff I've got, it's a smaller pellet. It's easier for the mice to eat. They're breeding like crazy on this. When I used to breed rats, I used to use dog food. But honestly, I am getting much better results with this food. I get this from a friend. It's a 25-pound bag for 15 bucks. So, I mean, I've got 50 pounds of it in here. That's going to last me a while, even when I up my production, you know. So, alright, that's my video on mouse breeding. If you have any more questions, anybody, feel free. Leave me a comment, ask me questions, I'll answer what I can. You know, I'm no expert, I just know what works for me. And as you can see, they're doing well. So, like I said, I'm going to up my production next year. I'm actually debating, I mean, I got to talk to my landlord. He doesn't really care as long as the mice don't escape. And even then, I mean, they're in the basement, it's concrete. They're not going anywhere. I'm thinking I might just fill this wall with mice, you know, and build a gas chamber, hook up this freezer, and start breeding mice like crazy and selling the extras. I mean, I'll have to fish around and see who would want mice. I know some people who probably would, but you know, Petco's selling mice for $5 a pop. If I was selling them for $2 a pop, you know, live or frozen, I'd probably make a decent chunk of money. As long as they paid for themselves, I would be happy. So it'd probably be like a couple $100 investment to build, well, let's see, 5-slot rack. I'd probably end up making it a 6-slot rack, 36 slots total. I wouldn't make it one rack. I'd make it 5 or 6 separate racks. Hey, let's just go with 30 slots. 30 slots is good. So 6-slot racks, 5 racks, 30 slots. That gives me 120 breeding females. I don't need nearly that many mice for my snakes, because you're supposed to have, the rule is generally 1 female per animal you have in order to keep yourself in mice, plus a couple extras in case you want extras. I currently have 15 snakes, so if I had 120 breeding females, yeah. I mean, in all reality, if it took off well enough, I could probably turn this side into a rat breeding area too, but we'll see what happens. I don't know what the landlord would say. Granted, he is one of my best friends, but I don't want to think too far outside the box right now. Right now, I just want to get a couple more racks going so that I have plenty of mice to feed my snakes and maybe sell the extras to buy pine and food. So, or trade the extras for food, for rat food, or mouse food, well, as I do right now. So, look at that. For those of you who like long videos, it's over 15 minutes. So, I'm going to end it now. Go process this video, get it uploaded, and go to bed. So I can wake up and do more things on my list of stuff to do today. Out.